right, welcome everyone to a Thursday episode of the Car Sheet Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Smith, here at the Fans First Sports Network. And today, Thursday, we are debuting for the 2025 football season, the Thursday show that we call The Portal. It's our college football show, and we're debuting it this weekend because there is an awesome slate of games this weekend in college football, headlined by a monster clash between Ohio State and Texas, and then a nightcap between Clemson and LSU. What a kickoff weekend. And to break it all down with me, returning to the show, I think this is your third time on the show, Big G, Shawn Gurley. Welcome back. Welcome back, Shawn.
Hey, Coach, great to be back in the building, man, to talk college football, man. Great to be back on Fans First Sports Network, man. And I am super excited for the kickoff of the 2025 college football season, man. So let's go. Let's do what we do, man. Let's go.
I agree. Let's go. I mean, it really is this year kind of unique. I don't know if I remember a year where you had like two top 10 clashes out of the gate like this. You know, sometimes you'll get a marquee game, but man, you got a noon game and you got a night game. I mean, my day is set for Saturday. My wife better not ask me to do anything on Saturday. My day is set.
Hey, Coach, I ain't going to front. I'm shutting it down tomorrow because it kicks off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Man, look, it's wall-to-wall football, man. The great two games on Saturday, couple of games in between Saturday is going to be good. So, yeah, I'm really excited. And Monday we're going to get a great game too. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's start with this. Shawn, you were a tight end, University of Arkansas, played big-time college football. You're a huge college football supporter. You know a ton about the game. I wanted to ask you, what makes college football special? It's different than the NFL. I mean, you know, you look at the schemes and you look at some of the athletes on the field. I mean, this is the breeding ground for NFL football. But there's an enthusiasm for college football throughout the country that I think is a little bit different. And so what makes college football so special?
There's a couple of reasons. The biggest one that points out to my head is that you have, at some of these schools, millions and millions of alumni that played at the university, that played at the school, that wore the colors, that might not have played on the football team, but they played on the soccer team, on the baseball team, on the intramural team. Heck, they might have just walked the hallways or the classrooms or the halls across the university. And so it means something to them from, hey, this is my school. This is what I represent, right? And then on top of that, you have some college football stadiums that make some of these NFL stadiums look like dwarfs. I mean, when you start talking about going down to the Shoe or going down to Neyland Stadium or going over and playing at Texas Stadium, man, listen, these places and venues, oh my God, don't even talk about like the Big House and or what goes on in Happy Valley, man. It's 100,000. It's a mini city sitting in the middle out of nowhere, and they're going to play college football game, and there's 100,000 plus screaming fans with all the stuff to go along with it. So that builds it. But then on top of it, the quality of play that's picked up with some of these young people, man. So there's kids, I'm telling you right now, there's kids in high school. Coach, you know this. They can play in the NFL right now. There's 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. You're looking at them like, dude. I mean, I know you got to develop, but man. And so they get firsthand viewpoint from them straight out of high school and college, and you're like, oh, my goodness, man. So it makes it hype. But then, like you said, the television networks is in with it. Man, they're hyping it up. And we've never seen a weekend like we're going to see where two top 10 matchups right out the gate. Come on, man. Yeah, you got to love college football. If you love football, you got to love college football.
You know, I was telling Shawn before we went on air, so this show's dropping Thursday morning. Later today, my high school, Ocean City High School, we kick off our season. We play a game in the Battle at the Beach on our field here in Ocean City, New Jersey. There will be 3 of the top 10 high school teams in the country playing in that event today. And one of those teams, IMG Academy, which is widely known throughout the nation, they've got 90 kids on the football team. Over 50 of them have Division I scholarship offers. They're a college team, man. You know, like, and you're going to see these guys on college football fields very, very soon. And eventually you'll see a bunch of them in the league someday. So you're right. There is an unbelievably high level of football being played even in the lower levels of football right now.
Yeah, and the quality, I mean, these kids are dedicated, man. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, they're like, okay, this is the trajectory, So, and it's good to see, man, because it just builds the game up more and more and more. And because, like I said, we saw a freshman class last year that entered it, especially at the wide receiver position, and I'm telling you, about 9 of them could have went to the league right now. So you're going to see that over and over again with the quarterback play, the defensive play, special teams play, even some of the linemen, some of the interior linemen. You always worry about a kid got to bulk up. Man, these kids are coming ready to play day one as freshmen. So it's exciting to see, man. And like I said, just to see the maturation of the game from the time I played to now is like night and day. So that's what makes me more excited than anything.
Yeah. And you are an Ohio State fan. You've got some connections to that program. So let's jump in on that. The first big game of the day on Saturday, the first big game of the season, number 1 Texas at number 3 Ohio State. I don't think I've ever seen a game before. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't know if I've ever seen a game before where the number 1 team in the nation is an underdog in their season opener. I mean, that is a unique situation.
That's because they're going to the shoe, bro. I mean, it's not – the horseshoe's not to be played with. The only place that I think is more intimidating than the horseshoe is the Big House. The Big House in Michigan, man, you walk in there, it's 125 screaming people. You're in the bottom of a pit, but the horseshoe is off the hook. And listen, Coach, I'm just going to be honest. I'm upset at Fox, man, because this game should have been played at night. But I understand they're trying to sell a product. It's big noon Saturday, big noon kickoff, big-time football, biggest game they've had on their slate probably ever. So I get it, but, man, this game is going to be off the hook. You're going to see, and I said this on the College Football Level Up podcast that I do every week, I said out of the 22 starters, offense and defense for both teams, you'll see at least 60% of these kids playing in the NFL in the next 2 to 3 years. That's how good of a quality of play you're going to get across the board from Texas and Ohio State. There's pros everywhere, and they're going to go at it, man. So I'm super hyped, super excited. I wish it wasn't at noon, but, man, come on, man. Let's kick this game off and let's get going, man.
I'm with you. Noon kickoff, and I'm thankful that our new head coach at Ocean City High School has said, hey, we're not practicing on Saturday. So I was thrilled because I thought to myself, oh, man, I'm going to have to run out of there to get the kickoff. All right, you mentioned there's going to be a ton of these guys playing in the league. Give us some names that we should really be looking out for. If you're a casual college football fan, let's start with the Buckeyes. Who are some guys on Ohio State who should be on the radar of people watching on Saturday?
I mean, Jeremiah Smith, you got to start the list with that. Jeremiah Smith is the most electric college football player in the country. Jeremiah Smith has a legitimate opportunity to win the Heisman Trophy in 2025. He's really that good. 6'3", 6'4", 225-pound wide receiver that's all world. So the offense starts with him, but when you start looking around, you got a freshman quarterback in Julian Sand, who's actually a redshirt freshman that transferred from the University of Alabama with Coach Nick Saban, and now he's been with Ryan Day 2 years. So he's got to groom him and get him ready for this big-time moment. So those are the 2 highlight players, but there's going to be multiple players on the offensive side of the ball that's going to make plays. Max Klein, transfer from Purdue. Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State. Brandon Enos, who was named a captain, never started a game for Ohio State, but was named a captain. And then James Peoples, the kid from San Antonio, Texas, that's going to take over the running back position for Quishon Junkins and Travion Henderson, man. All those kids are going to be highlight factories for Ohio State come for this game, man.
You think there's any concern for the Buckeyes over the fact that they lost both their coordinators? They got to break in essentially 2 new coordinators.
Well, okay, so I'll start offensively. Brian Hartline has been named the OC. He was the OC before. Based on my sources and what I know, Ryan Day is going to be a CEO for the offensive scheme for the game. Hartline will call it, but Ryan Day is going to have a lot of influence because it's a big game. So you just can't put that type of pressure on him to have him fail right out the back to Texas. So he's going to manage it. But I'm happy to see Hartline mature into the position of the offensive coordinator. On the defensive side, I'm more excited about that more than anything. Because, listen, I love Jim Knowles. Thank you for the national championship. We appreciate you. But, bro, Matt Patricia is a pro's pro, man. That dude, man, can call up a scheme. And you're going to see, for all those people that watch the Ohio State Buckeyes, you're going to see a scheme that you have never seen at Ohio State before. and I'll tip the hat a little bit. You got a kid named C.J. Hicks that's going to play defensive end opposite Kenyatta Jackson. They're going to come out and give you a 4-3 look. The opposing team's line is going to come to the line of scrimmage, and C.J. Hicks is going to stand straight up. And when he stands straight up, now they go from a 4-3 to a 3-4, and then you're going to see Caleb Downs, the all-world safety for Ohio State, walk down in the box. Now what you going to do, bro? Because it's a chess game at that point. You didn't see that out of Jim Knowles from a defensive coordinator standpoint. But that's going to happen for Ohio State this game. It's not to cause confusion. It's just because they have super athletes everywhere that can put pressure on the quarterback. So, yeah, let's go, man. I want to see Patricia do what he does with this defense for the Buckeyes, man.
Very interesting how Ohio State's been tapping into former NFL coaches at the coordinator position. It's obviously a marquee destination if you're going to coach in college football. So is Texas. Let's flip our attention there real quick. Everybody, Arch Manning, all the conversation about him and when's he going to come out? Because whenever he does, he's going to be the number one pick, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
People, I think, forget. I mean, this guy's never started a college football game before, right? What are the challenges Arch Manning's going to face in this contest?
Well, Arch's got a little bit more experience than Julian's saying, because Julian's played some downs too at the collegiate level. He's got a little bit more experience. I mean, he played against Mississippi State, University of Louisiana Monroe. He played some snaps against Georgia both times they played, and we saw him play against Ohio State last year. But the issue is the kid is a Manning. I mean, there's no other way to say it. That is the first family of quarterbacks that ever played at the collegiate and or professional level. It's in his blood. So I don't think that the moment is too big for Arch at all. Matter of fact, I think he's going to excel in the moment. The issue is going to be is what can he do to put his coach in position, Coach Steve Sarkisian, in position to win a football game. And I think that's where a lot of folks is trying to make it up and say, okay, the difference between Ohio State and Texas is the Arch Manning factor, which it very well could be. But Arch is an outstanding football player, and you're absolutely right, Coach. When he decides to come out, he's the number one player. It's locked. I mean, there's nobody that's going to pass him up from being the number one overall pick, man. So I'm excited to see what Arch does in this game for University of Texas.
Do you think there's any areas specifically where Texas has a discernible advantage over Ohio State, position group wise? Is it at whether maybe the skill positions, in the trenches on either side of the ball? Where Texas is the number one team in the country. Mm-hmm. It's not just on the reputation of Arch Manning alone. Where are they potentially better than Ohio State?
This is hard for me to say, but it's just the God's honest truth. The University of Texas front seven defense is the number one front seven in the whole country. That linebacker Hill, when I'm telling you that kid's a top 5 pick, he is. Colin Simmons, the outside linebacker, edge rusher, defensive end, whatever the heck you want to call him, he's really all that in a bag of chips. So they have probably seven guys, and they're going to rotate defensive tackles and other defensive ends in the game. And their job is to put pressure on Julian Sayin to see if he'll turn over the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see if this all-world talent that the University of Texas has in that front seven and rotational players can actually cause Julian Sayin enough problems to where, he throws a pick here, he has a turnover there, he has a play where he just misses it because he doesn't have all that game experience. But I give the University of Texas front seven a slight talent advantage over Ohio State's offensive line.
All right, let's scheme it up here for a second, right? If you're Brian Hartline, right, or Ryan Day, if he's the de facto coordinator, and you're trying to protect your redshirt freshman quarterback Julian Sayin against a great front seven, what are some things you can do if you're Ohio State to try to take a little bit of the pressure off of Julian Sayin and ease him into this football game until he gets acclimated to the speed and the environment and the crowd and the hype, etc.?
Yeah, I think the first drive for Ohio State, you're going to see a lot of 12 personnel. I just believe it because that's how you protect a young quarterback. You give him a 2 tight end set, you give him an option to even RPO out of it, but you put him in safe position to make safe throws with tight ends, including Max Klein, the kid I said from Purdue, And they got a thoroughbred in a guy named Jelani Thurman. Jelani Thurman is 6'6", 250 pounds. He's going to remind you a lot of Mount Washington, plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. His body mass and shape and everything, that's how he looks. He's just faster and more athletic. So I think to protect him, you're going to go a lot of 12 personnel, and you're going to see them run the ball. Ohio State, if they do not run the ball against the University of Texas, is in huge trouble. So they have to be able to run the ball, pick up yards with James Peoples, pick up yards with C.J. Donaldson, and I think you're even going to see the freshman Bo Jackson play in the game at a running back position. So running the ball for Ohio State is critical, and that's how you protect him. Because what you do is now the defense starts sucking in. Okay, now we're getting one-on-one matchups on the outside. Okay, go routes. You know, that's where you want to give a kid an opportunity to make a play young. A 50-50 ball, if he throws a pick on a 40 or 50-yard pass, okay, I'm good with it. But what you don't want him to do is have to start throwing the ball across the middle of the field and put himself in a position where he can make a huge turnover where they can run it back or get close to scoring a touchdown on the opposing team, which this week is Texas.
Yeah. Okay, tell me this. Again, it's the first week of the season. The playoffs aren't until January, which feels like a lifetime away. Mm-hmm. Which of these two teams has the higher stakes in this contest? Who could probably suffer a loss and rebound better? Which is, I mean, it's kind of a backwards way of saying, like, who needs to win this game more? I mean, you can take it from either perspective. Who needs to win this game more, or a loss hurts which one of these teams more?
I think that's clear. The University of Texas. If they lose this game, this hurts them. They are the number one team in both polls preseason. It's the consensus number one. It's not even a question about who is or isn't. And so with a loss with them early, I think it shatters Coach Steve Sarkisian and his team. Because now I can't beat the coach down at University of Georgia. I done played him twice and lost to him. I played Ryan Day twice and can't beat him. So the trajectory for the team based on the expectations is, man, we got to win this game. Not only do we got to win this game, we got to win in a convincing fashion. So we have to show everybody we're the number one team. So I think it hurts Texas more. Now, do I give Texas still an opportunity to do something in the playoffs, still win the SEC? Absolutely they do, because it's a long season. But Ohio State is young. They're replacing a lot of starters. Even though they got kids that got experience and all across the board, they're replacing a tremendous amount of starters. So if they play a close game and they drop it 27-24 or they drop it 31-24, it doesn't really hurt them. They build their confidence. They review the film. They see where they messed up. And they know the next time they play a big-time game, which will probably be Penn State, their next big game, they know what they got to do to adjust. So I think it hurts Texas way more than it hurts Ohio State.
Yeah, I think it was, I can't remember the exact number, but it was like 15 or 16 Ohio State players who got drafted in April. And if you're Texas coming in as the number one team against the team that just had to replace 16 NFL guys, even though you're on the road, it feels like you should win. So I'll end this part of the conversation with this question. Is Texas going to win this football game?
No. Even though I think that they have all-world talent, I think that the atmosphere for Texas is just too big. I love Arch Manning. He's a great player. They have NFL talent everywhere. But Ohio State, I'm just going to say this because I don't want to tell too much because there might be listening ears out there from Austin, Texas, and I'm not giving away any secrets. But I'm just telling you, you're going to see a different team that you faced last year in the Cotton Bowl in Texas. This is a completely different unit. These kids are way more athletic, and these kids are hungry. I'll give you an inside thing of what happened down at the Woody. I saw it with my own eyes. After they put all the 2024 stuff up, say, hey, we recognize we won this and won that, won this and won that, the team came together and told Coach Day, take all that stuff down because we haven't earned anything. And when I'm telling you, Coach Mick Moriarty, the strength and conditioning coach, push these kids in the offseason to get them ready for this game, Coach, they're ready to go. So this is a whole different ball game for Ohio State than what Texas saw last year. So I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I look forward to go to the fourth quarter, but I just don't think Texas comes out of there with a win, man.
Yeah, it's interesting, the points you just made. My show on Wednesday was about why week one or the opening game of the season is so difficult to game plan for as a coach. All these unknown variables, you start chasing ghosts in a way because you don't know exactly what your opponent's going to be. You can look at the film from the previous year, I mean, things like that. But man, especially when they change coordinators like Ohio State's done. So yeah, what's waiting for you? You have to plan for the things that you know, and then you hope you're well enough prepared for the things that you don't know, that you don't get hurt by those. And so this would be a really interesting coaching matchup. Which coaching staff is going to be a little more creative and a little more innovative with all this time to prepare for the season opener?
Facts. I believe it. Like I said, I think it's going to be a chess match. But in the fourth quarter, and Ryan Day is night and day, but Coach Sarkisian is the same way too. Sometimes, man, when the moment gets tight, he becomes like a controller. He's got to control what's going on with the tempo and all whatever else. But I really do believe Coach Day is going to let Julian Sand play free. There's a press statement that's already come out. He said, listen, man, just go win the game. It is all this other hype and all whatever else. Just win, baby. That's all I need you to do. I got a machine. You just drive the machine and win. So that took a lot of pressure off that kid, man. And so I think he's going to be ready. He had all this time to work with him and get him ready. It's time to go now. So let's see what we do, man, come Saturday.
Fascinating. All right, real quick before we get out of here, let's talk about the nightcap. LSU Clemson. I mean, that is featuring two quarterbacks who seem destined to be high first-round draft picks. Cade Klubnik of Clemson. There's some weird rumor out there on the internet this week about him getting injured in a car crash, which turned out not to be true. You know, the internet does its thing again. And then Garrett Nussmeier of LSU. I mean, both these guys projected to be top of the first-round picks in some regard. Games in Death Valley and Clemson. Both these teams, they called their home stadiums Death Valley. That's fascinating. Clemson had the advantage in this one. They're the number 4 ranked team in the country. LSU's number 9. What do you like in this game?
Man, I think this game is going to be, believe it or not, I think this game is going to be more of a battle than the Ohio State-Texas game. I think these two teams are going to go at it, man. Because when you heard me talk about NFL talent earlier, they're loaded up with NFL talent too with these two. But man, I've been in Death Valley before, in Clemson. Dude, when those guys come running down and they touch the rock, man, that place goes crazy. So I'm not taking anything against the SEC because I respect them. But man, it's just going to be too much. It's going to, listen, and by the way, Dabo Swinney has finally hit the portal. And so he already had like 17 or 18 returning starters. He hit the portal and got what he needs. Man, they're loaded. Clemson is loaded, and they're a legit national championship team. Now, I like Coach Kelly. I like Nussmeier. I love Perkins. Harold Perkins, the defensive line, linebacker, whatever. He wears the honey badger number, so they move him around like a chess piece. So I like him, man. I like some of the other pieces that LSU has. But, man, Clemson, oh, my goodness, man. I think Dabo's back. Dabo took a hiatus for a couple of years. He's like, look, man, I'm not going to let you guys move on without me. So the Clemson Tiger machine is back and ready to go, man.
I think you make a great point about Dabo finally embracing the portal. I mean, he was like a salmon swimming against the tide there for a long time where he just didn't want to go with the flow, so to speak. And, he took a principled stand. I admire him for that. But at that, you reach a point where, you're biting off your nose to spite your face if you don't decide to embrace this thing that obviously is giving other programs a distinct advantage on you. The other thing I think is cool, you mentioned touching the rock. If we double back to the first question I asked you at the beginning of the show, what makes college special? You got these cool traditions, the Notre Dame guys, touching the play like a champion today sign, touching the rock in Death Valley. Everybody, it seems like everybody's got their own thing. But man, having those little traditions, or even things like the bands. I don't know. Do you love college bands? Because I love college bands.
Coach, we got the best damn band in the land. What do you mean? We dot the I every week, man. What are you talking about? The OHIO. Of course I love our band, man. Man, well, listen, all the different traditions that go on, but like you said, man, there's no doubt Ohio State has the best band. So I could be biased, and people say, "Oh, you're biased." Well, look, just look it up. For all those people that's out there listening to it, just look it up. Get an opportunity, look up and see who has the best college band. We dot the I every week. We play Carmen, Ohio every week. hang on Sloopy every week. Hey, we get it in, man. So, yes, I love college bands. I love what the atmosphere it creates for college football.
All right. I'll get you out of here on this question. This is totally off the top of my head, so if you don't have an opinion on it either way. But tell me, is there a better college tradition that goes on at a football game than, dotting the I is an awesome tradition. Mm-hmm. But what about jump around at Camp Randall? Is that the best one going?
I've seen it. I've been there before. The stadium shakes.
Yeah.
So the one I'm impartial to, man, and it's because I played there and I saw it with my own eyes. I was on the field. But, man, when they sing Rocky Top down there in Knoxville at the University of Tennessee, and I hated them, man, for a long time, man. But, man, when they sing Rocky Top and that place shakes, man, I'm like, oh, my God. I Enter the Sandman at Vitek. I've seen that. I've seen Clemson. I've seen what happened with Clemson. They run down, and I don't know if you know this or not, Coach. They have a banner that's up there that says, "Welcome to Death Valley, where your dreams come to die." So they have all kind of little stuff going on, smoke flying up everywhere. But, man, when they sing Rocky Top and it's 114,000 screaming people down there in Neyland Stadium at the University of Tennessee, man, look, there's nothing like that, bro. There's nothing like that, man.
I'm getting excited just talking about this stuff. All right? If you can't get your juices going talking about all these great traditions and everything that's about to unfold, then you should check your pulse.
Yeah.
Sean, man, this is a great conversation. I, as always, appreciate your time. Real quick, tell us what you're doing over there with your podcast.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm on multiple networks now across the land for the Steel Curtain Network. I'm on a different podcast on Steelers Almighty with me and my boy Big B on Tuesdays and the Big Show. So I do that. I do the two shows I'm doing tonight on Steel Curtain Network, Pump Your Brakes and Smash the Gas. One airs at about 7:15. The other one starts at about 8 o'clock. Got my old faithful friends rocking out with me. And then every Sunday, I'm on the Know It Alls podcast, live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But now I do my own little spinoff, Big G Keeps It 100. I do it live Tuesdays at 12 p.m. and Thursdays at 12 p.m. You can catch me audio and video wherever you get your podcast. You can find it on the Know It Alls channel, man.
All right, that's good stuff. Well, man, buckle up. It's going to be real on Saturday. Yeah. It's going to be exciting, and you check your pulse a little bit. My heart will get racing. It'll be one to remember.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Coach, thank you again for the opportunity to come on and talk college football with you, man. I love the sport. I love talking football, man. But once again, great opportunity, great show, and I appreciate it, man.
It's always a pleasure. You're knowledgeable. You're enthusiastic. I love having you on. So thanks again, Sean.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so for Big G, Shawn Gurley, this is Kevin Smith for the Portal episode of the Call Sheet Daily. Hey, join me on Friday as Pez is back for our Hot Route episode, conversations about football and life. Until then, hope everybody has a great day. Take care.